Hi, it's Bill and Brenda from Seeds of Hope Ministries in beautiful downtown Camden, New Jersey. Camden is our favorite city in the entire world. We're glad you're with us tonight. You're going to see some great things that the Lord has been doing through the ministry over this past year, especially since March when the pandemic hit. We have, go ahead.
It's been incredible to just watch God working in situations where we just weren't sure really what was happening. I mean, that's true if you're displaced and on the streets in Camden, or you're in the world, home, wherever you are, right now watching, and things have hit that were unpredictable and unexpected. Before this happened, as we were planning the banquet, God put it on our heart that the theme should be hope, the hope that anchors our soul, and that's found in a scripture verse in Hebrews 6:19. Little did we know, as we got into this season and the pandemic hit, that He was really putting that in front of us, that our hope truly in any and every circumstances is found in our relationship with Him, and that with Him, He's an anchor that keeps our soul secure. During this time, we were really impressed by God at the power of His presence, the way, no matter what the circumstances are, God stays present with us. Because to be honest, when this hit, Bill and I were like, all as we're seeing is obstacles, and what God has done has turned every one of those obstacles into opportunities for us to connect with the people that He sees, He hasn't forgotten, and He loves in new ways, and actually has expanded the reach from some of the very typical ways that we were serving. And that's been really, really neat. The other thing is that in these situations that seem hopeless, we really, truly have hope, a real, sure hope in our relationship and understanding that He's with us. And so tonight, we're just so grateful that you would take time. We're live from our living room. We've tried for 4 days to be live to you outside next to our house, but it just has not worked out. So you are in our living room. 1700 South Broadway is our ministry home and our personal home. This is God's house. We are so grateful just to be here for this season that He's called us to. And we're so grateful, again, that you would jump on tonight.
For those of you who are hearing about the ministry for the first time, let me just give you a brief overview before we get into the rest of the evening. And that is, there are 3 branches to the ministry. The first one is South Jersey Aftercare. That ministers to men coming out of prison, transitional homes, all kinds of stuff. The second branch of the ministry is My Father's Hands. That's an outreach ministry to people who are homeless on the streets here in Camden, New Jersey, and people who just find themselves down here for whatever reason. And the third branch of the ministry, which Brenda leads up, is called She Has a Name, and that's a ministry to ladies on the street who find themselves in the bondage of addiction and then ultimately turn to prostitution to support their habits. So sit back, relax. It's going to be a short evening, probably another 10-12 minutes and it'll be over. But we trust that during that time, you'll have an opportunity to see how the Lord has worked and has been present with us and through us to the people that He loves. I wanted to give you a little more information regarding South Jersey Aftercare, which is a portion of the ministry that comes alongside men as they are released from prison and transition back into society. The South Jersey Aftercare piece of the ministry has been around the longest, more than 20 years. and we currently have a number of transitional homes, Christ-centered transitional homes, for the men to reside in once they come out of prison. In those homes, they're discipled, they are plugged into a local church, we help them find work, give them assistance with identification and driver's license, a lot of the practical stuff. Most importantly, we like to see them grow in their relationship with the Lord and their relationship with other Christian brothers that live in the houses. It's been outstanding over a long period of time. But what I really wanted to tell you about this evening is how the Lord prepared us for the COVID-19 situation. Before that even hit, the Lord had burdened our hearts at the end of 2019 to begin to communicate with our brothers inside in a more intentional way. We go in every week to a number of prisons and we conduct Bible studies, other Christian groups and so forth, and that is always outstanding. But we just felt like we wanted to get some devotions into the hands of the guys, more devotions than we talk about in the actual prisons, and some encouraging letters, and even give them an update of the ministry so that they feel connected to the outside world. So beginning at the end of December in 2019, we started sending in packets to quite a number of guys in various prisons, not just the prisons that we have a presence in or had a presence in, but other prisons as well, where we had connections with some chaplains and some Christian inmates. So we started sending those out, and little did we know that come March, that was going to be the only way that we were going to have contact with the men. Our last day inside a New Jersey State prison was Friday, March 6th. Even on that day, we didn't know it was going to be our last day, but that was it. But we had already developed a pattern of sending in those devotions and so forth, so the men could still have a connection to Christian brothers on the outside, and of course grow in their walk with the Lord as we were not able to get in there on a regular basis and do the Bible studies and groups and so forth. So that was unbelievable. The other thing is that during this pandemic, as you may have heard on TV or the radio, some of the prisons were releasing men early. They were close to the end of their sentences, and in order to reduce the chance of additional people contracting COVID-19, they released men early, and we were able to take some men on very short notice into the transitional homes, and some have moved on already, and others are still with us. So I just wanted to share that with you, that little did we know that we were going to be in the situation that we are, but the Lord did, and He adequately prepared us for that time.
Listen, a couple of things I wanted to tell you. Wait 1 second to everybody. Let me just share this with you guys. I put on the card about coming to see me privately. Until we're able to open back up inside, we can only carry out what we can carry out every other week, okay? So like this week we have hoodies. We'll always have tourist bags. We have clothing, but I know some of you are going to start to need sneakers and bras. We're starting to collect coats too. But, you know, you can make an appointment to come see me, and I can serve you one-on-one that way, okay?
Hi, this is Brenda. Just wanted to take a minute and share with you guys a little bit of a reflective picture of the last year as it relates to the ministry of She Has a Name. I don't think there's ever been a time in the history of the ministry which, believe it or not, this past July just hit the anniversary mark of 15 years. It's hard to believe that 15 years ago this entire ministry started with some cold water and a warm heart by the grace of God, and we're so grateful for that. The ladies have only increased in numbers on the street. I'm really sad to share that, but I pray that really helps you frame the things that you're seeing right now on the street. The pandemic really has only heightened that by way of a level of desperation that we haven't seen. But I would say to you that all of that has been marked by hearts generally just very grateful for the love and care and tangible things that we've been able to provide. Before the pandemic started, we had discussed as a team that we thought our best strategy for the summer would really be to just kind of swarm the streets. Prior to that, probably for the last 6 to 9 months, we had been alternating weekly between street outreach and in-reach at 1700. And we were just finding that our reach was broadened. There are so many new ladies who are out on the streets, sadly. And as you know, most of these young women are from our neighborhoods. I mean, it is heartbreaking to see just the misery and the suffering that addiction has caused. And really, honestly, at the root of all that is guilt, shame, and pain. And I think, the thing that the team really excels at, by the grace of God, is touching hearts in the Lord's name with that just love and hope and that offer of forgiveness that we can only find in that personal relationship. I know for me personally, that was life-changing when I was able to step into truth of, I was not defined by my past or my failures. It really began to put a new lens on my life as I was able to catch hope to rebuild my life, and never imagine in a million years that this would be the thing that God allowed me to be involved in. And I'm just so very grateful. I can't look back and think of anything else now. So as you consider just these ladies, we have a team that covers them weekly in prayer by name. We live in a very different world today. These ladies are subject to many types of different predators due to the advances and really accessibility of social media. It's created a whole nother market. And we just want to continue to storm the streets in love. We want to fight for those who can't fight for themselves. These women are beautiful, loved by God, created in His image. And we just need your prayer and your tangible help to continue meeting their needs. And we thank you for the way that so many of you have done this for many, many, many years. We can't do what we do without you. So again, please cover these precious daughters who are somebody's daughters, sisters, mothers, and friends in prayer. And if God leads you really to do something more, we would just be ready to receive that help. We desperately need it. Thanks.
By God's grace, the ministry of my Father's hands serves people throughout the year in various capacities, but a couple of the more regular touches that the Lord has enabled us to have with people on the street here in Camden are through our Saturday breakfasts. They have occurred for many years, each Saturday serving about 200 people. But once COVID hit in March, we thought we had hit basically an obstacle. But after prayer and talking to the Lord and talking among ourselves, the Lord opened up a way for us to serve people right on the street instead of just in the regular dining hall that we normally would use. And the way that was accomplished was He empowered the men who live in South Jersey Aftercare and in our transitional homes. He empowered them to get up every Saturday morning, even after working full weeks, and cook entire breakfasts for a couple hundred people. They'd get them into styrofoam containers, and then they would be delivered on the street by another team that would go out in our ministry van and just hit people on the street where they were. So what, again, looked like an obstacle turned into an opportunity because we were able to see so many different people on the street that we normally would not have had contact with. The same with the Sunday street ministry. Maybe some of you have been involved with that. Many of you stepped up and made sandwiches, snacks, fruits, you name it, toiletries, and put those together, and we were able to get them onto the street every Sunday after church, and it has just been amazing. So I just thank you for that. Thank you for the way that you continue to serve with the ministry, even though we are in challenging times. Thank you for the way that you pray. And of course, thank you for the way that you support the ministry, not just financially, but with actually providing items that ultimately find their way to the street. We could never do what we do out here without you. We just thank you for that. And thank you for sharing this evening with us as we can give you a little bit of a glimpse as to what the Lord's up here to in the city. Thank you for being with us this evening. We trust that you were able to see all that the Lord has been doing through his ministry here at Seeds of Hope this past year, especially since March when the pandemic hit. Right now we're going to transition to Megan Clapper, one of the members of our Board of Trustees, and she's going to talk to you for a minute about the ways that you can come alongside us here in Camden and help the ministry to continue to do the work that it's been called to do.
Thank you for taking the time to hear about the work of Seeds of Hope. We would not be able to do this work without the steadfast love and grace of our kind Heavenly Father. All of us at Seeds of Hope are thankful to the Lord for allowing us to continue to share the hope of Christ to the lost and hurting in Camden and within prisons. I want to ask you to consider partnering with us financially, and I will conclude my time with 3 ways you can donate today. We rely solely on the generous donations of individuals and local churches to support the ongoing work of Seeds of Hope. As an organization, we do not receive any government funding because we want to always be able to stay true to our mission, which is to demonstrate the life-changing love of Jesus to inmates, ex-offenders, poor, homeless, and those trapped in addictions and prostitution. We know that true redemption and change can only be found in Jesus Christ, and we never want to be in a position where the gospel message cannot be at the forefront of all that we do. As you consider ways to give of your finances, I know that there are many local agencies that meet the physical and emotional needs of those who are hurting. Any number of agencies you look into can be found providing fantastic services. Here at Seeds of Hope, we know that meeting the physical needs of people is temporary and that true redemption can only occur when they enter into a relationship with Jesus Christ. Sharing the love of Christ and the true hope found only in Him is, by God's grace, at the forefront of all that we do. If today you feel you were able to partner with us financially, we thank you. We are thankful for any gifts that we receive, knowing that they allow the work to continue. We invite you, however, to consider becoming a regular monthly donor, as monthly giving allows us to plan and meet our monthly budgets. If you are able to commit to a financial gift, I want to tell you 3 ways you can give today. To donate online, please visit www.seedsofhopeministries.org. Again, that's www.seedsofhopeministries.org. To donate through your phone, text BANQUET to 856-754-5990. Again, you can simply text BANQUET to 856-754-5990. Or to donate through check, please mail checks payable to Seeds of Hope Ministries to Seeds of Hope Ministries at 1700 South Broadway, Camden, New Jersey, 08104. Again, please mail the checks to Seeds of Hope Ministries at 1700 South Broadway, Camden, New Jersey, 08104. We thank you in advance of your support of God's ministry here in Camden, and we remain hopeful for all God will do in and through us as we continue to serve this community. Thank you.